Good day and welcome to the first ever Blacktop Bicolor Lifestyle chat video. Since this is my first video, I would like you guys to like the video, subscribe to my channel, share it, let's get a word out there. The purpose of this video is not to rant about motorcycles and show you video clips of guys going down or popping wheelies or just doing silly stuff. This video is to educate the general public on what it takes to be a biker, and that bikers isn't always all bad. Yeah, we've got a couple of rough and tough guys out there and a couple of rule breakers, troublemakers, but guess what? In all society, it's like that. So, since this is my first video, I decided to start from the start, where it all started, and go from there. The first ever registered motorcycle club was started in New York. It was called the Yorkers MC, and it was started in 1903. It was previously known as the Yorkers Bicycle Club that was started in 1889. But it wasn't until the Second World War that the whole club lifestyle, this culture we love and we are so devoted to, started to boom, if I can put it that way. So why the sudden increase in club or the culture after the Second World War? Well, the same reason we ride today, the same reason we still bikers today, the same reason I will take a bullet for my brother, the same reason that I know that I'll be okay. The same reason why these guys started the motorcycle clubs in the first place. What happened was after the Second World War, a lot of vets returned from the battle, and they had scars deep inside their soul. Something was missing, and they couldn't really fit in with normal society. So, to feel the adrenaline rush, they decided to band together and start riding motorcycles. It wasn't at that time so much a club, sorry, as it is just a couple of brothers, a couple of guys from the same unit or the same squadron or whatever the case may be that started enjoying each other's company. Because put yourself in their positions when the Second World War was over. General society didn't know what these guys went through. They didn't understand the returning vets as one another did. So they had to rely on one another just to be a productive citizen within the normal society and to not lose focus of their lives. I mean, if you look at the statistics, they reckon more than 32% of vets returning from Afghanistan in America committed suicide because they couldn't fit into the normal public. So these guys, what they did was they started banding together, start joining one another, riding together, doing rallies, all that stuff, and basically just enjoy each other's company. But in the 40s, this was quite often accepted by the general public. There was no stigma around motorcycle riders or clubs or the biker lifestyle. Where the stigma arose from was in 1947 in a small town in California. I think the rally was called the Gypsy Rally. What happened there was, it was a normal rally. It's not like the rallies we know where we pitch a tent, have a couple of drinks and just do silly stuff on site. This was like really where men tested their skill and they tested their abilities on motorcycles, racing up and down hills and going through mud puddles and drag racing on grass and stuff like that. It was real badass stuff. So, but there was a group of guys that felt this is silly, and they started doing their own thing, and they were racing up and down the main street, and no care for the public, no care for the rules, the law, public safety. They didn't care. They smashed into bars and beat up the crap out of people looking wrong at them. That was known as the Hollister riots. And as I said, it was in 1947. You can search it, you'll find it. There's a nice story behind that as well. So that's actually where the 1% badge, the diamond with the 1% started. So again, the reason for the 1% was that the Motorcycle Association of America at the time did a press release stating that 99% of all attendance at the rally was law-abiding citizens and was keeping to the law and keeping to themselves and wasn't making any mischief. But it was the 1% that did all that damage and stuff. So yeah, but that'll come in in another video. I don't want to share everything now, otherwise I won't have content for the next one. All right, so back to South Africa, where the video is actually supposed to be shared and sent out. It was I couldn't find any official records of the first club ever registered in South Africa. I'm still busy researching that. If you do know, please comment below. I'll go and research it. According to what I could find, it seemed that it was on the early 50s, 1950s, that the first motorcycle clubs arose in South Africa. And according to the stories I heard, it was also a rowdy bunch of people, and it wasn't the modern biking community we know today. But things went on, and clubs boomed. We saw clubs popping up all over, family clubs, MCC, that's another video I'll do later on, the difference between the different clubs and what it means. But yeah, so in the 50s, yeah, the South African motorcycle clubs started popping up. To give you an idea, we're standing at, I think, 1,171 clubs registered by the South African Biking Association and different federations and so on. So yeah, we did boom. Now, to get to the point where I want to start educating the people, as I said, it's my first video, so it's going to be an introduction to the motorcycle lifestyle. The reason I joined a motorcycle club, I never felt that I was part of something. I played sports at school. I had a couple of buddies on BMX, skateboarding, all that stuff. I tried it, but I couldn't find my ground. I couldn't find something that calms my soul, that calms my temper, calms my, like I said, my agitation for life, to go forward and, you know, do silly, stupid stuff. So I sort of stumbled onto motorcycling via friends and so on. I actually rode for a Christian motorcycle club, and we band together with them, jumped on a wagon going from rally to rally and having a little bit of good time. And also that was majority of my experience as a kid. But as I grew older, I realized there was members in my family that was also part of the biking community. So I started getting in touch with them. I started chatting with them, having time on conversations with them, sharing stories and so on. And the more I was exposed to this lifestyle, the more I was more intrigued. So for each and every person out there, if you're a biker, it doesn't mean you have to be part of a club. It means that you enjoy what you are doing. You enjoy it. It's part of your soul. Like, to never ride again is going to feel like the end of the world for you. So for every person that calls himself a biker, there's a different reason for them being in the biking community. Some of them just feels they need to get out. Other people feel that it's a psychological thing for them. Like for myself, I know if I'm really ticked off or I'm really sad or whatever the case may be, I jump on a bike, do a couple of miles, get back, feel better, and I put a smile on my face again. The biking community in general, like every culture, every community, you've got your rotten apples, you've got your stand-up guys, and you've got the average guys. Now, I consider myself to be an average guy. I'm not a troublemaker. I'm not a stand-up guy. I'm just the average guy, just enjoying the life, enjoying the lifestyle. But what does it mean to be a biker in South Africa? Well, it means you're part of something bigger than yourself. It means you're part of an organization that will look out for one another. And I'm talking about true bikers. You get a lot of posers out there, and I mean a lot. They wear a patch on their back. They've got their own club. They're the president of their own club. But when push comes to shove, they're the first guys to duck tail and run. So I'm not talking about those guys. I'm talking about the real legitimate bikers. The guys that will, you can give him a call at 2 o'clock in the morning and he'll jump in his car and drive 200 kilometers to go and help you out. That's the type of guys I'm talking about. That's the brothers I'm talking about. And the sisters, sorry. So I had a lot of questions from my non-biking friends, and they were like, aren't you afraid to die? Aren't you afraid to be part of this club, the gang war stuff? Yeah, there is some friction between clubs, and yeah, there was sometimes violence, but the general community, the general biking community in South Africa usually bands together. Like we had an instance where an international club wanted to join South Africa, and two of the main figures that was rival clubs actually band together to ensure that these guys doesn't cross our border, they don't come into our country and destroy the biking community for good. So these guys, I mean, was two rival gangs for 30 plus years, and they put their differences aside for the greater good. And that's what biking is. This is what being part of a motorcycle club is. It is the fact that even though somebody stepped on your toes, you're still willing to forgive him and work with him for the greater good. So I always say, and I'll say it again, if you want corruption to end in this country, make a biker president and you'll see everything change. And I'm talking about a real biker again. But anyways, so my opinion, my feeling regarding biking in South Africa is that we need to start exposing the non-bikers, the cages. We have to expose them to this lifestyle. Yeah, there's drinking involved. Yes, there's partying involved. Yes, it's all. But that is a thing that the media, the mainstream media, social media, all focus on. You'll read in a paper about a couple of bikers beating up another guy. There's a reason behind that. You won't never know the reasons. There's always three sides to a story: your story, my story, and the truth. So, but the media usually focus on the bikers, saying these guys are bad, these guys did this, this guys did this, but they don't go into depth in what caused the friction to start in the first place. So we are on the back foot all the time. You know, bikers, we are quite confrontational when it comes to our brothers. I mean, even if one of my brothers does something wrong in public, I'll never back down. I'll stand with him. I'll face him. I'll face the whatever the case, the situation may be with him, even if he's wrong or right, because that's what brothers do for one another. That's what the guys did in 1947 on the in 1940 with the Second World War. Even if the guy was right or wrong, they stood by one another. And that's what biking is all about. That's a core belief in biking. But in motorcycle clubs, we do have three golden rules, three non-negotiable rules: respect, loyalty, and honor. Always respect one another. Respect the patch on your back. Respect the history of that club. Never disrespect any club. Never disrespect your cut. Never disrespect your brothers. Loyalty. Be loyal to your club. Be loyal to your president. Be loyal to your brothers. Be loyal to the bylaws that were set out by this club. Respect and honor. Honor the guys that was there before you. Honor the history of biking. Honor each other. And how do we do that? I mean, we do things differently as a biking community. Have you ever seen a biker go down? Even if I don't know him, my heart goes out to his family, his friends, his club. Reason for that is We share a bond even though we don't know each one another. It's not because we are these badasses that the media portrays us to be, the sons of anarchy. No, we're not those guys. We are brotherhood. We loyal to one another. We're loyal to our culture. Our culture is the most important thing to us. Like you've got Afrikaners, you've got Zulus, you've got Xhosas. That's their culture. I'm a biker. I'm an Afrikaans-speaking biker, but I'm a biker. I'm a white biker, but I'm a biker. That's what I am. Remember, when I put my helmet on, you can't see if I'm black or white. You can't see if I'm Afrikaans or English. The only thing you see is that I'm a biker, and that's who I am. And the more people start to realize that we are a subculture on our own. Yes, yeah, you get clubs where races band together, but that's not because we are racist. That's not because we don't want people from other colors to join our clubs. That's not the case. The case is that we find one another in different ways. We find one another by means of social media, by work relations, through mutual friends. And that's how we stick together. And as soon as we started banding together, then we start doing things together and we start building this bond with one another. As I said, even if you don't know somebody and he's a biker and he goes down, and your heart bleeds for him, your heart bleeds for his family. Because one brother lost is one brother too many. A biker going down is a big, big, big thing for the cultures. And to all the bikers out there, that really goes out, and I'm talking not just about the South African biking community, I'm talking about international, that still goes out and installs this core value we see in bikers that still fights for the old school ways. I salute you guys, I really do. And for all the non-bikers, the posers, the frauds out there, you better watch out. You're playing not just with me. You're not playing just with one or two guys. You're playing with a million brothers. And it's a good way to get your ass kicked. So, to all the brothers and sisters out there that wears their hearts on their sleeves, that represents this culture, I appreciate what you guys are doing. I appreciate all the guys that mentored me during my club life experience, and all the guys that came before me. I respect you guys, and we'll see each other next week. So again, I'm going to ask you guys to please subscribe to my channel. The next video will be by next week Saturday, late in the afternoon. Subscribe to my channel, like this video, share this video. Let's go, guys. Let's wake up the public into what it means to become a biker. So I'm going to tell you guys to enjoy the rest of your week. Keep the rubber on the road. Remember, plastics are expensive. Peace out.